Welcome back to this Coding Bootcamp's presentation of Java Intermediate Level. This is session 4. We will discuss formatting output. So formatting output is something that a lot of programmers are familiar with. We have to format in our client-side applications, we have to format in console applications, we have to format in web and mobile applications. However, here we are going to look at, instead of the print lines and print statements, we're going to look at the printf syntax, the conversion characters, specifying field width and precisions, literals and escape characters, and then formatting output with class formatter. So let's briefly discuss formatted output in Java. Many times it's essential to print your output in a specified format. If any of you are familiar with C or C++ and the printf function, we're going to take a look at the printf function in Java. And this is a easy, I guess we could say that. It's an easy method that is, certainly it's easy if you're familiar with C or C++ and printf. System out, print, and print line take a single argument, but printf can take multiple arguments. And we will pass in formatting syntax for those multiple arguments. So a good way to understand printf here, if we just take a look at a few examples. We see the output here of pi to almost a default precision, but if we look up here, we can see that using printf, we can format it to the precision of 2 places of the decimal. And if we look here again, we can see that a specific width, so 4 places of a decimal, you can see specific width. And we can also see here how we can pass in the %20 or the margin. And we can see here again 4 places to the decimal. So printf is a quite useful method. And just one note, please also look at system.out.format. It's very closely related, if not identical, to printf in how it's used. So if we see some of our conversion characters that we can use with printf, in this case if we use the %d, we pass in a signed integer and we can format it as a signed decimal integer. %u is an unsigned integer and we can present it as an unsigned decimal integer. Please go down and take a look, and we can see here there is also line separators that are in here, which is a little bit different from the /n. So take a look here, real number notation, strings, and characters. So just take a look at this. Also, here's a good one as far as scientific notation. Those are also very useful in specific cases. So again, please look this over, pause this video, take a look, but also you can reference this with other resources on the internet as well. Date formatting is always a little bit tedious in Java, as many of you know. Creating the date format mask is and then passing it in again to be formatted can take some time. It can result in some errors, and again just be generally tedious. If we take a look here, we can see how we can format these date and time. So we're using the class calendar, we're instantiating it into date time, and then we are using these characters to format that date time. And you can see here we're getting the day with leading capitals, we're getting the month with leading capitals, we're getting the date and the full year. If we come over here, we're not getting leading capitals, we're getting all caps for the day of the week and the month. and then we get the date, and notice the comma is being added here, and then we're getting the year. And then we're getting abbreviations. So we're getting a leading caps, but we're getting the abbreviations for the year and for the month. So try these formatting characters out. You can certainly enter this, key this in, and here is the main method, and then go ahead and run it. It's a great way to really understand these formatting characters. And again, they can be less tedious than the date masking or the formatting masking. So a few things about field width and precision. So the width is the number of characters to be written for the output. For the line separator conversion, width is not acceptable, and if it's provided, an exception will be thrown. And here's where there is some possibility of some confusion. Now for precision, the general argument types is the maximum number of characters to be written to the output, but however, for floating conversions, we have the E and the capital E and the F. The precision is the number of digits after the decimal separator. If we use the conversion lowercase g or uppercase g, then the precision is the total number of digits in the resulting magnitude after rounding. And if we use conversion characters, either lowercase or uppercase a, then the precision must not be specified. For character, integral, date, and time arguments, they really don't have precisions. So if a precision is provided, an exception will be thrown. So let's take a look at this class here. We have our main method, and we are declaring our x and our y, and we're valuing them. And here we're using printf. We are using, you can see here, the formatting for x and for y, and we see how we're passing it in. So even this way of using printf is less tedious, and we can see here how x is formatted and how y is formatted. So again, the best thing to do is try these out and try out other formatting types too to really understand them. And we can also see here decimal, the decimal representation, the hexadecimal representation, and the octadecimal representation. So again, here we have a class with our main method, and we're declaring and valuing these integers. And if we take a look down here, a equals 5, that looks right because that is being formatted as a decimal. However, b equals f. So we see b is 15, but f, because f is the character, hexadecimal character for 15. And we see here C, which we declare here, we initialize as 255, but when we output it, its output is 377, because this is the octadecimal value. So again, take a look at the previous slide where we did the formatting, particularly for decimal, hexadecimal, and octadecimal, and just see how your characters are output. These can be, in some specific cases, quite useful. Printf is really good with literal characters. However, there are going to be characters where they have their own meaning, almost a reserved meaning, such as a quotation mark, that you will have to format so the quotation mark actually gets output, because quotation marks, obviously, anything enclosed in quotation marks indicates a string. And there are various control characters, such as new line, such as tab, that must be represented by escape characters or escape sequences represented by the backslash. So to output the quotes, the single quote and the double quote, you will need to use the backslash for literal there, just so Java knows that that's the quote or the double quote that you actually want included in the printing. And then you will have to escape backspace, form feed, new line, carriage, return, horizontal tab. And this is quite similar to any of the printing functions in Java or even C or C++. So we can see here in this print line example here, even though the whole string is enclosed in quotes, the hello here with the quotes that's being output, these two double quotes are being escaped, or they are the slash is there for literals, so we are literally outputting the double quote before the hello, and we are literally outputting the double quote again after the bang symbol or the exclamation point. And there's also a formatting class, so we can add this class library. The formatter is an interpreter for printf, so for styled formatting, the class provides support for layouts, for justification, for alignment, numeric format, string, date and time data, and locale specific output, so it's useful for that. Common Java types such as byte and big decimal and calendar are supported. Limited formatting customization for arbitrary user types is provided through the formattable interface. So we're going to take a look at some examples shortly. Formatters are not necessarily safe for multi-threaded classes, so just be careful, do some thorough testing. And formatted printing for the Java language is very, very close, if not identical, to printf in C and C++. Although the format strings are similar, again, or identical, there are customizations to accommodate the Java language and exploit some of its features. Java formatting can be more strict than C or C++. So, for example, if a conversion is incompatible with a flag, an exception will be thrown. In C and C++, inapplicable flags are ignored, and the formatted strings are thus intended to be recognizable really by the programmers and not necessarily compatible with those in C or C++. These examples here are very useful. So you can see here we are instantiating a string builder, SB, and then we're passing in SB, to a formatter. So we are declaring, instantiating formatter here as formatter, and then we're calling some formats on here and passing in some arguments. So take a look at these examples. They are, and maybe even try a few. They are quite useful. Here is also some convenient methods for formatting strings to system out here. So we can see here we are calling format, and we're outputting local time here in a lot less, right? Really in one line. And also writing some formatted output to system error. And you can see here this is being used to write out in a very clear way what was the problem or what the error was. This will allow a user to take action. So for an exercise, go back through this material for formatting output, and you can see here we will input some format and just follow these steps for inputting the characters, and then just go through here for outputting the formatted data, and we'll see here some sample input and then some sample output. So this was a really good session. We discussed the printf syntax. We looked at conversion characters, We talked about specifying field width and precision. We discussed printing literals and escape sequences and escape characters, and we looked at formatting output with class formatter. Stay tuned for our next session where we'll discuss strings, characters, regular expressions, the fundamentals of characters and strings, the string class, and string builders, character class. Really very, very useful information. Please again consult your learning materials for information on Java mentoring, Java tutoring, and Java coaching. And thank you again for watching this video, and this has been a presentation of Coding Bootcamps.